Buff Nation.
Let's go.
Welcome in.
Go.
You could say it.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Welcome into DNVR Buffs Twerking Podcast.
Yes.
Tripod Podcast.
The tripod.
There you go.
It's a double meaning.
Yeah.
We're presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. What's up, chat? We got the guy back here in the studio again. What's up, Neely?
Hey, man, you don't know how happy I am to be here. Like, I love this couch. I love sitting between you guys. I love the lack of humidity in Colorado.
Ooh. Yeah, how's the weather back home?
Oh, my God. So let me tell you this, man. In Colorado, you do a lot of walking. So walking town in Boulder. You walk 2 or 3 miles a day, and it's all good.
Yep.
Get home, your underwear, your drawers hadn't rolled up one bit. You can't walk 100 yards in Mississippi in this humidity. They're going to roll up on you.
Oh.
There's no rolling up in Colorado, man.
Oh, love that.
It is a beautiful thing. A lot was made about the weather in the winter here.
Yeah.
Not enough is made about the weather in the summer here.
It's a win. It's not a trade-off. Like, it's a win.
Yep.
Whatever you endure during the winters, when you get to spring, summer, man, it is totally worth it.
Because
totally worth it.
In the Colorado cold, you can dress for it. Like, in Chicago or like those areas, like, you can't dress for that cold. You can dress for the cold here.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about when it's too hot. There's no dressing that you can fix it.
And then the beauty when it's quote unquote hot here, you can have a jacket on, you're not sweating. You can have a tank top on, you're not cold.
Yeah.
Like, it's just wear what the hell you want to wear.
Yep.
Colorado's the best, man.
I thought Jake was going to start the show with grand opening, grand closing.
I mean, that would have been appropriate with the whole Linkin Park Jay-Z thing, but we'll get him up to speed.
I just call Chester Bennington. That's all I care about. That's my guy.
Number 1 on the PGA Tour. Competing with Wyndham Clark for the U.S. Open.
Sounds like it. Or the headmaster of a private school.
Oh,
What's going on at the facility, man? What's it like being back there right now?
Man, it's awesome. You got these chunks of strength and conditioning that you do. You got to go through June, go through July. The best part about it, like, June is done, and when you get to July, you got about those 3 weeks because you kind of take out a week where you have the 4th. And then it's football time. Like, we're almost to August, and August is really when football starts. And if you look at the difference in this team from March to June, and then look at the difference in this team from June to July, it just keeps going up. They look the part.
Hell yeah, man.
They look like football players, man.
there was all that kind of noise out there in the spring about, wow, this team looks so small. This team looks so small.
You don't hear that anymore.
No, it's completely gone.
You don't hear that anymore, man. Like, I mean, they tell you, like, they look like football players. They look like D1, Power 5, a lot of them NFL football players. They have the bodies. They look the part. You pass a guy in the hallway and you go like, all right, he plays something. Like, that's a big dude.
Yep.
They got height, they got mass, they got speed. This is a football team.
How's Coach doing? We saw the videos come out yesterday. He's back on campus. How's he doing?
Man, he's doing good, man. One thing about him, when his sense of humor, his personality kicks back in, that pain is subsiding. He's always going to be a workaholic. He's always going to be a go-getter. He never complains. But to see him back with the guys cracking jokes, sitting a little more than standing as he gets his strength back, healing up from the surgery. But Spears couldn't be better, man. Like, he is a full-time coach.
Do you feel like the health, I don't know, it's become kind of an underlying storyline in this whole thing. Like, do you think he feels okay about where he is right now?
Oh, he feels great about where he is right now. And, a lot of these stories about his health challenges, not only did he want them out there for the right reason, when you were at Jackson State with him or following the stories then, this really pales in comparison. He had major surgeries that hit him right in the middle of the season and missed 3 games. And the game he came back to coach was literally coaching from a wheelchair that's essentially a hospital bed, like he could lay all the way out. We're not talking about that level, of concern with this. So, man, spirits are high, energy's high. He's going to be ready for TCU.
Let's go.
58 days.
Hell yeah, man.
That is going to go by so fast.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. We started these conversations December, January, and it's now July.
That time period has flown by.
Yeah.
And when August gets here, that first week of August when the guys are back and you're going into true fall camp and now people are in pads and coaches can coach and you're really doing not just generic installs but coaching game plan for week 1, I can't wait. I can't wait to see this team being a team at that level.
So what's up next? Is it just a bunch of stuff with Coach Mo? We talked to Cam on Friday and kind of said he hates Coach Mo because of what he puts him through.
Man, that's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
like
I think he looked over his shoulder. He's like, Coach Mo's here?
Like, you want your strength and conditioning coach to be respected by the guys, but you don't want him being buddy-buddy.
Yep.
You want that kind of mentor relationship, and, you can be cool with them. But if the guys are walking around talking about how much they love the strength and conditioning coach, they're probably not being pushed.
Yeah.
They're probably just frat housing or something. But the work that Mo has them doing, the football-related conditioning he has them doing, man, it's spot on. Their bodies have changed. You look at Tyler Brown, like y'all had him on the show. Mm-hmm. Look at his body now.
And he was already transformed then.
Yes. Yeah. Like, he has transformed even more since then. Travis Hunter, he's put on weight. All the guys with their specific goals, they're achieving them, man. And Coach Mo, hats off to him. But here's what's about to happen. The honeymoon's about to be over. A lot of folks know Coach Prime, but they don't know Coach Prime because he hasn't coached here yet. You had the little spring ball, get ready, and now Coach Mo is in charge of strength and conditioning. But when that baton is handed from strength and conditioning truly to the head football coach, you're going to see a guy, the closer it gets to week one, he gets more and more locked in. He's already a no-nonsense guy, non-negotiable standards. But I think there are people around the building, people that cover the program are going to be like, oh, man, I didn't know he was that intense. Because the closer it ticks to game day, they're going to see it.
We talked about something with Cam that kind of goes to what you're talking about. But it's the way that Coach Prime is speaking to them that I've noticed a change in. And what I noticed in Cam, and when I listened back, he said it even more definitively than I thought, is he knows he's got his squad.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that he's addressing them and the way that he's talking to them has a different sense of urgency, a different intensity,
absolutely,
a different, not like, well, that guy might not be here next week. It's just you're the guys and we have a job to do, and it's very much like a mission. And the way that Cam said it was like he knows what he's got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he selected it, and he got what he wanted. And now, everyone had these concerns with that quote-unquote flipping the roster. How are you going to get these guys to jail? How are you going to get these guys to become a team in that short amount of time? But this is a guy with a Power 5 when he was at Florida State, but also NFL mentality. And the rosters flip every season.
Yep.
And the guys come together because of what they go through. You look at this team, 3 months ago, you had guys who had never met Deion Sanders, in a month after being in fall camp or saying on camera how much they love him and wishing him well in the hospital. Yep. And when they're together, I think Cam said it's sitting right here. We can talk about my Jack State days, but I'm a Colorado Buffalo now. This has truly become a team that he put together, he being Coach Prime, and they're ready to go, man. Yeah. Like, when they go at it, and like these speed drills and conditioning stuff, you could tell, like, all right, wait till I hit you, though.
Yeah.
Wait till the pass come on.
Especially Cam.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
Yeah. Yeah. They're headhunters, man. They love it.
I mean, Cam was just so great last Friday when he was here. That was like one of the fastest hours I think we've ever done recording a podcast.
Yep.
He's just a natural in front of the camera. Did you train him?
I did not. He is self-trained, man. That guy has been down through there. We've done some training as far as, repetition, because we've done a lot of interviews together, from when he was at Jackson State, and he was one of the first interviews when he got here. But he's a natural because he's natural. He's not worried about what you're thinking about his words. He's not thinking about your response to his words. Cam is just being himself. And I think he told you guys when we do those interviews with him, that's who they are. Yeah. You're getting Jimmy Horn, you're getting Cam Selman, you're getting Shedeur Sanders. That's who they are.
And it helps a lot that you're there with them every day.
Yeah.
It's a very different relationship, from a normal player to media relationship.
Absolutely.
Because they trust you. They've been around you. They know you.
Yeah, and that was the game plan from Coach Prime. He's like, man, if we're going to do this, you got to be embedded with the program. You got to have relationships with these guys, off-camera relationships, so they're comfortable and open to you on camera.
Yep.
And you can see when they do interviews with other outlets, they could be a little more guarded versus they do these in-house things, if I can term it that. But more to come, man. Like, wait till everything that's been happening, I'm smiling about it because everything that's been happening, with the three of us, with the program, with Well Off, with Reach the People in Darius, man, we ain't play football yet. Wait till y'all see how this operates during football season, the content you get, the interviews you get, getting to know these guys, their personalities, their likes and dislikes, as well as their football ability.
Was there I know there was, but I'm curious how the kind of underdog mentality served those early Jackson teams with Coach Prime, because that's what this team is dealing with a lot. Like, last season, I'm sure Jackson wasn't considered an underdog by any means.
Not at all.
But that first season, the second season, I'm sure there was still plenty of doubt out there, and I feel like that is something that is absolutely going to feed this team. It's something that we just watched with the Denver Nuggets. Like that, they just kind of took that. No one respects us. No one believes in us, and they ran with it. Do you remember kind of how they used that early on?
Oh yeah, and you're gonna see that happen here. I marry the Colorado getting ready for the spring game with Jackson State's COVID season that we had in the spring. He being Coach Prime was able to identify what he had and thereby what he needed. And he brought that in. And so that COVID season started off with a couple of wins in a row. Then you had a couple of losses and people were doing the Nelson Muntz, ha ha. And he's like, all right, just wait till I get my guys.
Yeah.
And what he's telling the pack in advance, I have my guys now. This is not the spring roster that you saw. So I have my guys, and we're getting ready to play ball for real this fall. And so they got a chip on their shoulder because they got something to prove. They want people to see and believe that, no, we can play, man, and we can play together.
Yep. And I love a team like that because just even like the quotes that you're going to get, whether it's on the sideline or after the game, when they beat someone that everyone thought they couldn't, it's just like it hits different. I even think back to that like Philadelphia Eagles team that won the Super Bowl. They embraced the underdog thing. Yeah. They even had the dog masks that they were putting on after the game. Like it creates like a different level of grit.
It does. And you're going to find it with these guys. But one of the things, juxtaposition of that Coach Prime loves and he pushes, that we ain't just got a mic in the camera in your face when it's going good.
Yep.
There's going to be a mic in the camera in your face when it's going bad. And you can't participate in one and not do the other. So when something goes wrong, and adversity is going to hit this program, whether it is in-game adversity or challenges during practice or injury, whatever it takes, adversity is part of football. So you get these guys together, get their strength and their conditioning right, get their mindset right during August ball so they're prepared for those moments that, okay, it's not going according to plan. What do you do then?
And what I would tell them, and maybe he does, is those clips are what NFL teams will see and want to know. They want to see the way Cam Stillman-Craig reacts when they're down on the side. And when they see him going up and down, hitting everyone's shoulder pads, saying, hey, this is not over. This is like, we got this. That's going to hit different than how he feels after he gets an interception. Everyone loves that. But NFL teams want to know how you react to hard times.
Sure. Because
when you go from the college to the pros, you're going to incur hard times. Like, it's not easy for anyone.
In either situation, it's rare that you are leading the entire game. It's rare that every play you call works the way it's supposed to work. It's 11 on 11, so they got 45-pound plates in their weight rooms too. They got a strength and conditioning coach too. We naturally totally believe, unbiased opinion, if I could say that we got the best coaching staff in the nation, strength and conditioning all the way up to the head coach. But those guys are working hard too. And there's going to come a moment in the game that it doesn't go as according to plan. How do you respond discipline-wise, stay in the mode, stay in character, and get it back?
Yep. And that's what really matters.
Yeah.
Because everyone can go when it's going good.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves it then, man. Hey, it was a great time we had.
Yep.
It's like the spring game when that snow was coming down.
Yeah.
Which I still can't believe how that snow got off the field in time for us to play.
Yep.
Wow. Man, I'd never seen anything like that. I'm from Mississippi, man.
The grounds crew has their work cut out for them again now. Yeah. I don't know if you saw any of the concerts that were up there this weekend.
Seeing clips, man. Like what a crowd.
Yeah. I think it was I don't know if they've announced the attendance yet, but I would guess over 60,000.
Easily.
Yep.
Because the place
I was in there twerking.
Yeah, did you leave your mark?
Yeah.
He was twerking.
But I'm sure someone will post a picture in the next few days what the field looks like now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to be done between now and September.
I've glanced out there at it, and they've already started. They've been taking down the rigging and the staging and all that and blocked it off. But I have complete confidence it's going to be ready.
So you're not a deadhead?
I'm familiar with it, but I got a couple of tie-dye shirts somewhere. just doubt I was going to be in that crowd. Just wasn't my thing.
Last week, there was a quote that came out from an anonymous Pac-12 coach. Said Colorado was in a lose-lose situation with Coach Prime.
Yeah.
First off, I want your opinion on that and the just anonymous nature of it.
Well, so the anonymous part, like, I don't give any credence to. If you're not man enough or woman enough to put your name with your opinion, then damn your opinion.
Yep.
But then just to address what was said, I think Colorado, and hats off to Rick George and what he did in getting Deion Sanders here, is in a win-win situation.
Great point.
You know, this is a program that had success, I mean, overall programmatically, the athletic department, the budgets, with a losing record. You know, with mediocre ball. Now you bring in a Deion Sanders, and I saw a stat where the Colorado spring game this year, the store sold more merchandise than any game day in history.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, you're playing Nebraska.
Yep.
You know, you got rivalry games taking place, but a spring game sold more merchandise. Look at the season ticket sales. Look at the games that are going to be on TV. That part is a W.
Yes.
Before we even play. So for someone to say it's a lose-lose situation, I just think they, a little hating going on, a little hating the player going on over there. And you got to understand there's a business side to this, which has already been a win. CU has probably made enough money so far to pay the contract already, just in 6 months. And then when you look at when the W start coming in, when we start playing ball, it is win-win. It's not lose-lose. This was a great hire for this program.
Yeah, and who knows who said it, and it doesn't really matter. But I do think there's also a jealousy that exists within the coaching community. The coaching community is a very it's a very tight group, almost too much in my opinion, to where there's not a lot of new voices, new names that ever really enter it. You'll see, a Pac-12 school hire an offensive coordinator who's been an offensive coordinator at 4 other Pac-12 schools. They just kind of pass him around, and then he does it for a couple of years, and then he fails and he gets fired. And so, all of these guys are kind of in this circle, and then someone comes from outside of the circle who is obviously bigger and more known and more popular.
There you go. Say that.
And everything. And guess what? Also knows ball better than them.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of rooting for it to fail because they don't want to see it keep happening. They don't want Ed Reed getting the job at Bethune-Cookman because then all of a sudden being a coach isn't as valuable as just being a player who did it at the highest level.
I'm just a rising tide lifts all boats kind of guy. Like, even when we connected, I'm not envious of DNVR Buffs Live. I want more people talking about Colorado football, not less.
Yep.
Because the more people are talking about it, the more it helps my platform. And look how we've now mashed up and joined forces.
Yep.
It's the same thing with coaches. If I was a Pac-12 coach, I wish Deion Sanders all the success in the world. Because guess who I'm going to play against? It's like if you're in the SEC and you're going up against Alabama, every kid can't go to Alabama. But you know what the Missouri coach gets to sit down and say, or the Tennessee Vols coach gets to sit down and say? Hey, man, we play Alabama.
Yep.
And play them on TV.
Yep.
Now, you couldn't necessarily get a spot there in a scholarship offer, but you can go up against them and you can show them what you got.
Wrong.
And you can prove them wrong and prove the NFL right when they draft you. So if I'm another Pac-12 program, man, God bless Deion Sanders. Man, do it. Bring the spotlight because I'm going to get some of that shine. I play you on TV.
Right. Yeah, our game is going to be on national TV because of them.
Right.
I don't get it, man. I would embrace it.
Well, that's why they're doing it anonymously.
Yeah.
Because they're hoping that he calls them next year and adds them to the staff, and they get to hide behind that veil.
Did you see Coach Prime, Ryan? Did you see Coach Prime responded on Instagram to this though?
Yes.
We didn't talk about it on the show, but he said
had
this
time.
is. He what?
He had time that day.
He did have time that day. Said this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The only reason I said almost is because I'm giving y'all time to top this stupidity. We coming and you know it.
Yeah,
and there it is. Like, they know it. They know what's going to happen.
What's crazy is you kind of mentioned this, but Colorado already won.
They did.
Yeah.
If Coach Prime, I'll knock on wood, and I don't think it's happening, but if he decided to leave Colorado today, this program would be better off than when he got here.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the reason that they sold all of that gear is not necessarily just because people think the team's going to be better this year. It's because the brand is cool again.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's
and
cool.
who made it cool again?
Exactly.
Like, you just got to give credit where credit is due, man. The guy is an internationally known, commodity. He is clearly the best to ever do it at his position. And then I would submit to you, arguably the best to ever play football, period. People can have that debate in the barbershops, wherever, but one of them is just done. One of them we can discuss it.
Yep.
and you bring all that acumen and expertise to a program, of course it's going to turn around. Of course there's going to be excitement. But again, I double down on it, man. If I'm another school and I'm playing the guy, I want it. Like, bring the attention.
Yep.
You know, bring the crowds. Bring the primetime game spots, because if I get to coach against you, that means I get to show how well I can coach, and people get to see me and my guys too. Rising tide lifts all boats.
Love it.
Did you cook over the holiday?
Did not, but Neely don't miss no meals.
What'd you eat?
Whatever was cooked. You know, like if it's there, I'm eating it. You know, it's just, man, it's too hot in Mississippi to barbecue, man.
Just put Shador's number 2 on whatever it is, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, on whatever it is. Get your mind right. Stop that.
Hey, you said
No,
it, not me.
I saw you veering off the road, man.
Hey, I'm just trying to do an ad read here, bro.
Well, stick to the read. Like, read it.
Shador's,
ad lib.
Shador's number 2 goes great on everything, just like Neely said. And he said everything. You can go to plbse.com. Use the code ALLCITY, all caps, all one word at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order. Shador's number 2. Ryan, how's the spirit of the Buffs today?
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, we're going strong.
It's pumping.
There we go. Shout out to Saturday.
The spirit of the
is
Buffs
pumping.
is throbbing.
I was going to say throb over pump, because it's throbbing. I see it there. It's got a nice rhythmic throb too.
Shout out to Saturday Neon, a company started
We
by
made it through one segment.
2 friends and college roommates at CU. They make officially licensed collegiate logo LED signs. They're based out of Denver. They got over 19 select schools, including Colorado, many others. Great for gifts, great for offices, man caves, dorm rooms. Go to SaturdayNeon.com. Use the code DNVR. You'll get 10% off your order today, and you get free shipping on orders over $200. Oh, man.
You're still on throbbing, ain't you?
He's just looking at the comments.
Comments are loosening. So what's up with Cormani McClain? I've gotten 8 billion questions about him in the last 2 months.
That's all.
Tell us everything you know.
That should be 10 billion. I tell you, he's in the building.
There we go.
He was there the same first day back with Coach Prime, you know, and he is excited about getting out there. You cannot take the smile off his face, man. Being here since December, I've seen a lot of happy to be here guys. I'm going to rate him as the number 1 happiest.
Let's go.
Like, he does not stop smiling. He's ready to go. You know, you get in the same thing like if you got here in February, you got here in March, you got to go through your physical first and make sure you're medically cleared to play. So he was doing that yesterday and probably part today, finishing up. So you're gonna eventually see him in workout videos and doing this thing. I was blown away how tall he is. You know, I met him during the spring game when he was here, but got to talk to him. You know, a little quick interview with him, and I'm like, you know, my head is tilting up a little bit to look at him. You know, he's long, man.
Let's go.
He's long. Like, he literally looks like he's grown since the spring game.
So he's listed at 6'2", and people are saying, I mean, you would probably know if you saw the physical, he's now at 6'3".
I'm gonna put him at 6'3", because I'm 6'1". Definitely, I could get away with 6'2", and I'm telling you, to look him in his eyes, I tilt up a little bit. And I'm in shoes, and he was like in flip flops. You know, nothing with a lot of cushion on him, and he's long. He's long, but he's another Florida guy, and so as is the head coach. So they got to talking about fishing and that kind of thing, man. But it won't be long before you see him in action. And you talk about that prime effect. It happened at Jackson State with Travis Hunter, number 1 recruit in the nation. And then look what happens here, number 1 recruit in the nation. Mm-hmm. So hate it if you want to. I'm going to love it.
We need to get 3 of us, Travis, Cormani, and Coach Prime, and go
run
fishing.
some routes.
And go fishing. And go fishing. I got some spots.
They fish, man. Oh, you got some spots?
I got some spots.
I'm gonna let Coach know. By the way, he watched the Cam segment, man. He loved
go.
it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He watched it. He hit me up. He's like, man, that was a great job Cam did with you guys.
He did. He was awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, have you been to that spot he was talking about? Saucy Southern?
I have not.
Ooh.
Lunch?
Did you go?
No.
I have to do bets after this.
Well, we have a quick meeting after this, so
Okay.
maybe after that.
Yeah, it's food, right?
It's
Yes, sir.
It's food.
There we go.
And it has the Cam stamp of approval.
Yeah. Now Cam has been getting around, man. Like he
Yes.
comes to me all the time and gives me like recommendations of places.
All right.
He was like, hey, Unc, have you tried such and so? And me and JB went the other day. So he's working it. Like he is a Colorado Buff. He is a Boulder resident.
We have this thing called the Buffalo Heart Award, and it kind of goes to a player who embodies the spirit of the Buffs, embodies what it means to be a Colorado Buffalo. I think he's going to be a candidate one of these days.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Cam is going to be a candidate for everything, even president one day. The guy has got it going on, man. He's Mr. Intensity. You gave that example about, what if the team is down? Who's going to be that emotional leader on the bench? Like, I've seen Cam do it. Like, he doesn't turn it off. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and when the game gets going, whether it's going his way or not, he is into it. Another guy, that emotional piece that was missing from spring ball, the presence of Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't let up. He is Mr. Intensity as well. He will get on your nerves. He is in your face, challenging you, pushing you, always has something to say. So much so you see the head coach happens to be his dad. Shiloh, shut up. Because you can be on the sideline in the stands and you hear him out on the field talking. Like, he is a talker.
Who's
man.
challenging?
I wonder where he got that from.
Who is the offensive player that challenges Shiloh the most? Is it Jimmy or is it Travis? Who is it?
Well, that's the interesting thing about what you've been seeing in these player-led practices, these 7-on-7s. Man, the advantage in my mind is offense. Because you're not getting all that handsy, and there's no pass rush, there's no middle linebackers. It's just one-on-one ball, so they have the advantage. So I watch that kind of stuff, and I love the intensity of it, but I don't grade it as far as grading low the defense when the guy catches the ball, because it ain't exciting showing clips of somebody breaking up a pass. Everybody wants the Moss catch, and everybody wants, so that's what you give them. So I don't want to say who's getting the best of each other, but I am looking forward to August when you really see, okay, who wants these paws on them or not.
Well, who's he jawing with the most, though?
Him and Jimmy Horn Jr. have a nice thing going back and forth right now.
Dialogue.
They have a spirited debate going back and forth right now. Because Shiloh has a way of complimenting you, and then snatching it back. So, and they were doing the stadium run, he's like, man, all the receivers, y'all suck. Nobody's in shape except Jimmy. And he ain't in better shape than me, so that doesn't count. Like, it's always something. So I think you're going to see them vibing.
Excited for that one.
I want to go back to Cormani real quick because we've seen him.
Imagine that.
Well, hey, man,
hit all the bullets.
If I don't ask these questions, I get them, and I don't know the answers to them. So, but he's been getting in front of the camera a lot on his own, just on Instagram and stuff. Have you gotten him in front of the camera, and what's he like in that setting?
We did some chats this week that'll be coming out on the pregame show, our YouTube channel. Of course, always sharing content with you guys. Yep. He's a guy who's been there, done it, man. He ain't afraid of lights. He ain't afraid of a camera. And, a lot of these guys now understand the dynamic of you got a phone in your hand, too. You can control your narrative. You can tell your own stories. So you're going to see him on his pages doing more of that. And he really, he loves to work out. So you see him putting in that work, man. He's got a great personality, and the smile doesn't leave his face, man. He just walks through the building bouncing.
Jake and I both laughed when you said that because some college football person recently said that Travis and Cormani are allergic to the weight room.
I'm gonna push back on that.
Of course,
I think that we all know where these guys can go from here.
Yeah.
All right, and so you're kind of looking at them with NFL eyesight, right? Because they have that NFL speed right now. You got to, man. Cormani just graduated from high school like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, can we get him time to have a true weight room and a true weight program? These guys are going to put on weight. Like, it's going to happen.
And that's the thing is people just see that they have a skinny frame.
Yeah.
And make, judgments off of that. Those guys are grinding.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter is blown up.
Oh, absolutely. His body, his strength has certainly changed, from spring to now.
He's the best example of it, right? Because at JSU, his first year, when he was hurt, he wasn't able to really work out, get on the field. People are like, 165, scrawny, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at him now, and this guy just looks like an absolute beast.
And I do think, in fairness to people who say things like that, a lot of these guys, are in high school programs that don't have true strength and conditioning coaches, don't have true facilities, and they're also so naturally damn talented over their competitors that they can be weight room adverse at that level. But when you get to college, you're going to meet and become friends with the weight room. Give these guys time to develop. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at their frames now, but, I mean, the guy just had on a cap and gown getting a high school diploma. Like, what is he going to look like when he's 20?
Well, and if you're Coach Mo, all you got to do is show him a picture of Travis when he got here and Travis now and say, this is what I'm going to do to you. Just follow me.
Shit, Jimmy even.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those guys are cut up, man. Like the guys that didn't need to gain weight haven't, and they've toned up and chiseled up. Like you look at Rock, talked about him earlier. Like he went from prototypical offensive line body to like, man, damn, does he play defensive line? Like he's tight with it. He's still the strongest guy on the team. So you cut this weight and then gain strength and gain speed. Man, it's phenomenal what Coach Mo is doing. So I say just keep your eye on Trav and Cormani. Their bodies are going to change.
I have been saying on the show recently that I'm always a little hesitant with 5-star hype and that sort of thing. And, one of the things we keep saying is like, if Cormani is as advertised, this will happen, that will happen. I'm starting to believe more and more that he is going to be as advertised.
I totally agree. Looking film don't lie. Looking at his film, you see it. I saw the same thing with Travis and his playmaking ability on both sides of the ball. If anything, these guys, because there are some people who don't like people. If anything, people hold back on promoting them to the level that they should. Saw the same thing with Shedeur coming out of high school going to the college. If Shadeur's last name is Jenkins, he's a 5-star.
Right.
But because he's Deion Sanders' son, you got people who rank these kids like, he already got everything. I ain't giving him that. But when you watch him play, like, clearly this dude.
I mean, he had a Bama offer.
Yeah. Yeah. But nobody wants to give him a star because of, who he is. And what did he do? Just went out and broke all kinds of records, Player of the Year, for HBCUs. You're going to see more and more of that. These guys are as advertised. Wait till you see them play.
I know you just got back in town, but has anyone else stood out to you other than the guys that we've talked about a lot about since March, February, January? Any of the guys that just arrived?
So, yeah, I'm not going to cherry pick names, but I'm going to give you a group.
Okay.
And that is the defensive line. I think the defensive line, from their ability into more than their ability, their mentality is a totally different group than what you had in the spring. Like, they want to be defensive linemen. They embrace not only Coach Sal and when he's teaching them, but the manner in which Coach Sal teaches. Because Coach Sal has a unique way of delivering things.
Yes, he does.
Same thing with Coach, Nick Williams coaching the DNs. I'm going to give the line like the thumbs up as far as the greatest area of improvement from spring to now.
There we
That's
go.
huge.
Massive.
Yeah. It's huge.
And Coach is, if I did pull out the name, he was here this spring. He ain't let up. He still is a leader in the weight room, verbal, comrades with people, the camaraderie he's building. He's doing his thing, man.
Man, that might have been the best thing you could have said. It's either that or offensive line. Like, would have one of those. If you would have said that, if I could have chose what you were going to say, if the defensive line, if this team's defensive line is good, it doesn't have to be great. If they're good, this defense is going to be nasty.
Yeah, because they're going to have the clamps on the outside.
Exactly.
Yeah, and think about this. You got to reverse engineer the philosophy of this team. Coach Prime, Sean Lewis at OC, offense is going to move fast. They're going to chunk plays down the field. That means the defense is going to be out there more than a typical defense is. So they got to be in shape, and they got to be ready to go because their job is to get the ball right back to the offense. First job under Coach Sal's D-line is stop the run. Second, disrupt the quarterback. And you got guys there coming off the spring who they love it. Like, they want to do it. They will take the grate off a fan. They will put their face in it.
Yep.
Like, they don't mind getting in there. That's the mentality you want from D-line, and we got that now. And you made me pick one. I'm not saying that the offensive line isn't much improved either.
Oh, for
But if
sure.
I had to pick one, I'm going with that D-line. Because the offensive line, the mentality was there, and you added some ability. The defensive line this spring, you may have had some guys with the ability, but the mentality wasn't there. You got the mentality with this line.
I remember watching some videos with Nick Williams and Sal Sinceri, and you could see frustration
from
them because it felt like they felt like the guys weren't getting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it. And part of not getting is I don't want it.
Yep.
You know, you're talking about a position. They hit somebody every play.
Yeah.
You know, you can be out there slot receiver, wide out, even running back. You know, nobody's going to touch me this play. I'm just flashing out here, just showing something.
Yep.
Man, those guys getting a fist fight every time the ball is snapped. And you have to want to do that.
Yep. And you have to be an energizer. Never, you want to go back just as hard the next time.
Yeah. And we got the mentality now. I love the mentality of that group.
One of the guys who came just during the summer and has turned into quite the character is Derek McClendon.
Yeah.
Have you got to meet him, and what's he like?
Yeah, man, a character.
Yeah.
You know, there are some personalities on this team, man. And that's part of what I was talking about earlier when the season gets going, and it's almost like a sitcom where there's character development. You know, you get to know a person. You know, you grow up watching The Simpsons and you thought the show was about Bart, and then as you get older, you realize the show was about Homer.
Yeah.
You know, because you see the character development. You're going to get to know these guys, man. And, I mean, there's some comedians on the team. Like, they go back and forth with Coach Prime because he has that same kind of personality where there's always going to be a joke or a one-liner in there. Everybody's going to get a nickname. So there's some good guys here, man.
I love it.
You did a video on Charlie a while back.
Yeah.
Just what makes him just who he is, and then we have a lot of walk-ons on this roster who are quote-unquote dogs, it seems like.
Yeah.
What do you think we can expect from some of these walk-ons?
That they're going to contribute. You know, it's one of those things where scholarships have a finite number, and Coach Prime loves keeping some in his pocket, not only for new guys who may be coming in, but also as an award system for some of these walk-on guys. And when you watch Charlie Offerdall work, you don't know he's a walk-on. Like, there's no difference in the way he carries himself, his demeanor, his work ethic. You walk out there on the field, and, you know, he is a leader. He is encouraging people. He's riding ass if somebody's not doing right. You know, don't try to make that something else. He is, see, going laugh in the back. He is that guy that you don't know, like, again, you don't know he's a walk-on. You know, because he's giving it all he's got, and he understands that he has a leadership role on the team, you know, because people are looking at him and like, hey, what's that guy doing? What's that little kid out here doing? I mean, you don't know it. Like, he is a dog, man.
Yeah.
Like, he works. Charlie works.
Also, I think the fact that Coach Prime singled him out individually and pointed to him in front of the whole team, said, watch what he's doing. These guys listened.
Which means Coach Prime had been watching what
exactly.
He's doing.
And so now guys are looking at him being like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things I want to point out about Coach. When y'all see these clips, whether he's on the Segway or standing or now sitting a little more than he typically does, he doesn't miss a thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Like, when those guys are working out, he is looking at effort. He's looking at what guys are doing when the strength and conditioning coach may not be looking at them. You know, and he's not writing nothing down. He's not texting himself a reminder, but he's full of mental notes like, okay, that guy's got some speed. Mm-hmm. That guy's got some integrity. That guy's got some work ethic. That guy's doing it for the right reasons. And then they get to the team meetings, and he's going to call out a Charlie Offerdall because he's seen him, you know, and learned his name. You're making a pretty damn good impact on Deion Sanders. He learned your name.
I want your opinion or your prediction on something, not necessarily asking for inside info. I just want to know what you think about the conference realignment and where this might be going.
I literally have not given it any thought.
Oh, interesting.
You know, because what I have to do today and what I have to do tomorrow and next week, it has no bearing on.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing like with us getting locked in and focused on the game plan for TCU. Alignment, it just don't impact it. You know, like, we do the job in front of you, be where your feet are.
Right.
You know, and so I literally, Ryan, I mean, I haven't given him any thought. I see, like, the blogs and I see all the chatter going around, and I literally just shrug at it. Like, you know, just tell me who we got to play.
You're like, we're either going to California or we're going to Texas.
And the goal is to whoop ass wherever we go, so it doesn't matter where we're going.
Yep.
Hadn't given any, but I would be interested, you know, as a homer, what's your take on it?
I think we're going to go to the Big 12.
Okay.
I think it's only a matter of time. And again, I am assuming or guessing what I think Coach Prime would think about this, but I think he would say something along the lines of like, give me games in Texas and Florida every year, and I will only get stronger.
Oh, because the recruitment changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the recruitment definitely changes.
So,
Absolutely.
you know,
Last time I was here, well, it might have been you, Jake. One of you asked about us Colorado becoming the lead school in recruiting Florida.
Right.
And I think it was like, we'll be top 3, top 2. We're going to end up number 1.
yeah. And especially
without a move.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you give a couple games against UCF every year, who's actually doing a really good job in recruiting right now.
They've been killing it.
And now you've even got bigger problems with Coach Prime coming into Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, man, who doesn't want to play for him? When you see clips of him, past or present, and you'll see more in the future of him actually coaching, and telling guys why they should do it this way, and it was the way he did it, and this is why it works, and they embrace it, and it works. Like, where are you going to get that anywhere in college football but at Colorado?
Well, and then beyond that, which is what I asked Cam, that he didn't necessarily want to answer, but his laugh answered it all. It was like, how can you look at Coach Prime and then I didn't say this name, but I'll say it now, look at Matt Rule and be like, yeah, I think I want to play for that guy, pointing at Matt Rule. No way. There's no way.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to play for Coach Prime.
Good job, Cam, on not touching this. Your media training.
Well, I just said, do you ever look at other coaches and say, how do those guys play for him instead of they could play for Coach Prime? I don't know. There's just something to be said about the swagger, the confidence, the understanding.
Oh, you nailed it with the understanding and understanding, today's player.
Yes.
One of the first interviews we ever did on the pregame show as far as a big name guy was Troy Aikman. And Troy Aikman said, you guys got to understand this. Me and Deion Sanders stopped playing around the same time. And he is not only still relevant, he is more relevant in football retirement than he was in football. None of us, we all got, Super Bowl rings, we're all Hall of Famers. Who else with a gold jacket can say they're just as relevant today as they were when they were playing?
Yeah, and it goes back to marketing and branding, which he's literally been a savant at since he was a kid. I don't know how he was so good at it when he was 18, 19, 20 years old. But he knew then, I'm building a brand for myself now that will last me long after football.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it worked. And why do you think he's teaching all these kids now how to get in front of the camera, create your own YouTube channel, put out your own content? Because that will pay dividends for them long term.
All while keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yep.
And that's part and parcel. We'll talk about the honeymoon being over. There's a lot of things that you see content-wise that you may think is too much or even too little, whatever you think about it. When we get in real football mode, come that first week of August, you're going to see some changes, even the amount of interviews that players are doing, the amount of time that they're spending away from football, because it's football time then.
Yep.
And when it's football time, nothing else is a priority. And that's coming in about 3 weeks.
We better get our interview requests in.
Yep.
I think y'all know a guy, so you're probably good. Probably good on that.
Anything else? You good?
I think I'm good.
All right, we'll turn it over to the comments.
This is always the sketchy part here.
Is it?
Let me guess.
Good,
Cormani
sketchy in a good
McClain.
way. I love sketchy. Yeah, I love sketchy.
We got a lot of people watching right now. We're on the pregame show on YouTube as well. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button while you're at it too, and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
I like when Chip comes in with the drop of light. Man, you guys are just
That's my guy, man.
Alyssa's on top of it over there.
Shout out to
touching
Backus.
I'm not. You go right ahead with the comments because I'm not this guy. He loves throwing a grapefruit out there for me to hit. I'm not even swinging. Nope, not doing it.
Shout out to Backus and Shanker. They're here if you get hurt. They've been helping Colorado families win for more than 25 years. No upfront fees to speak with them about your case. No fees while they work on your case. And no fees unless they win your case and win money for you. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. Smash that Shador line, 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins.
I like that, the Shador line.
Thanks,
I like
man. I'm pretty good at this.
You're damn good at it. You keep going. Stay focused. Don't let me bother you.
Shout out to Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last with Shady Rays.
Gotta get Unc some Shady Rays.
We got some new ones. Did you get yours?
I did. I got mine, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll get you on the product request list.
Yeah, we'll get you there, Neely.
Baby steps.
Durable frames, extremely clear polarized optics for all your outdoor adventures. You can shop their entire collection at the Park Meadows Mall, or you can go to shadyrays.com and use the code DNVR. You'll get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. You can try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Finally, this episode of the DNVR Buffs Podcast is brought to you by Illegal Pete's.
Damn, triple ad read. We're coming up.
The whole week, yeah.
Let's go.
What were you said on the video, but let our listeners know right now what you thought of Illegal Pete's.
I thought I wanted to move in there. Just kind of get right behind the counter. You don't have to make mine. I'm just going to eat it out of here, right?
Let's go. They've got their extended summer happy hour, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every single day.
That is extended. Yeah, 3 to 8.
Yeah.
If you go to a Rockies game, make sure you stop by with your ticket. Get a free draft beer or house margarita. Shout out to Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers.
It was excellent, man. It was a first-timer. Can't wait to go back.
Hell yeah, man.
We're trying to get Cam on to it. He was a little like, I don't know. And I was like, Neely loves it. Shiloh liked it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. We'll get Cam there. We'll get him.
All right. What do we got?
Let's go with it. I'm punting all questions.
Also, got to get to 500 likes. 394 now. I think we can do it.
Smash that like button. Larry Williams, speaking of speed, who's the fastest? Among us three?
I'm going to go RK, Neely, and Jake. Yes, I'm faster than Jake. Just not it, what I'm going to say.
What is he asking, though?
Who's the fastest player on the
I think
team?
he's saying the team. I'm going to go with Jimmy Horn Jr., man. That's still my guy. I think we haven't seen his top speed yet.
He would like to tell us that.
Yeah, I believe it. He had that little kind of a tweak in his thigh or groin or something right before the spring game, and so there's no need in trying to prove I can beat a guy in June and re-aggravating something, But that dude is fast, man.
So Cam said he thought number 1 was easy, and he thought it was Dylan.
That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like I all right, Cam.
Yeah.
Like 1 and 1A, and you can put him either direction.
And then
Dylan is fast.
Who was it recently?
Carter Stoutmeyer.
No.
Oh, Breedlove.
Who said that DeMoy was number 2?
Oh.
DeMoy Kennedy, the linebacker.
No, I'm still.
I can't remember.
I said this. I don't know if it's true. The fact that was someone even said that tells you that man is fast for a linebacker.
That's a fast linebackers. Don't get me wrong.
Who said
that? I'm going to push back on that one. I'm going to push back on that.
Is Alton McCaskill.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Robert's asking.
I do have a race between Bishop and Rock that I'm dropping on YouTube.
Let's go.
Yeah, so Coach Prime, like we competed everything. I don't care if it's ping pong out here, and he called up a defense lineman and offensive lineman, and they raced and just watch the pregame show. You see the winner.
Stay tuned.
Coach Prime would be proud that I smoked my family in the Family Olympics this weekend.
That's awesome. And I love how we have no data on the family. Like he is just 85-year-old grandmother. Like, just very generic. No first cousins, just like us.
I'll say it's not Power 5 competition.
You won though.
I
you
won.
Beat who was in front of you.
Exactly. That's all you can do.
That's all you could do. That's why I don't care about realignment. Line them up.
That's fair. Robert wants to know if Cormani started working out with the team yet.
Not yet. He did his physicals yesterday, and once all that is cleared, he's going to be out there grinding, man. He did get to, was in the weight room and watching the guys work out watching his position group work out. So he's engaged and smiling the whole time, man. He can't wait.
Sean saying, "Hey, Unc, you going to come tailgate with us in Fort Worth?"
Are we tailgating in Fort Worth?
Yes,
absolutely,
we are.
Sean. We're I think we've mentioned a time or two, but I don't think the world knows, maybe because we don't really know how much we're going to be together.
Oh yeah,
like for these games here and away. So yes, Sean, we will be tailgating at Fort Worth.
Check this out. I don't even know if Jake knows this yet, but I got the latest update today. We have over 60 people coming with us
on the flight.
No, not quite 60 on the flight. About half of that on the flight. but 60 people staying with us at the hotel, going to the tailgate with us, going to the game with us.
Oh, it's going to be a fucking
And
party.
We still have
Not just a
58
party.
days.
A fucking party. Is what
Yes.
it's gonna be.
So we have a big crew
Man, that's wild.
going out there, and it's only going to
Let's go,
grow.
man.
You can't fly with us anymore, unfortunately, but you can still stay with us at the hotel, go to the tailgate, go to the game with us, and then we haven't finalized it yet, but I think we're going to do something on Friday night, little meetup, hang out, maybe record a pod. So it'll be a good
Sweet.
time.
I saw a comment go by Willie Gaines. They're exactly right. Willie Gaines is fast as shit too now. So.
Yep.
Also, all of you, that includes the chat, Alyssa, Jake, Neely, you're all in charge of making sure I don't go too hard on Friday night in Fort Worth because we got to be up early. We got to be up at like 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Yep.
So let me tell you this, brother. I'm the wrong one to be in charge of that. I am going to encourage it. Like you ever see that meme with Andre the Giant with his shirt off? Like that's I'm going to have you shirtless.
I'm expecting someone from the chat to be like, hey, RK, remember that podcast you guys did July 6th? I'm just letting you know, I think I've seen you had a few shots. You might want to tone it
Man,
back.
I say
a little
go,
bit.
man. Like you can do both.
I can.
So why not?
I've done it
I mean,
before.
you smoked your family at the Family Olympics, and now you want to hold back at TCU?
That's true. It's true. It's true. I can do it. Back
gonna
to
be a
back. Maybe we just won't go to
legendary
sleep.
With a game that early, why?
Right into the tailgate.
We sleep after the game.
Angela's asking, Unc, how do you think RK and Jake would handle the following? Give me my theme music. What is it like to be in that moment in the locker room?
Man, it is. No matter how many times you hear it, the build up to it, you know the punchline is coming, but it's just like hearing it the first time. You know, it is. You know what? I got a sneaking suspicion that you guys will hear it in person one day in the locker room yourselves, and you'll be able to come back and tell Angela what it's like. But it is. Even the players, they know it's coming. Now you don't know where in the speech, you know, but you know, like, okay, that was a little pause. Is he about to do it? They just.
Yeah, everyone's sitting up in their seat, a little edging to the edge. I love
Like,
it.
give me my theme music.
That would be sick.
Mac Mill at Neely, do some of the players ever get annoyed when you show them on camera without interviewing them or while interviewing them on a bad day, I guess?
No, not at all. Like they know from the top down, we show the good and the bad. And then as far as in-depth interviews go, you know, there are some players whose personalities are more extrovert, some are more introvert. So when you're dealing with a locker room right now of 110 people, it's hard to get to everybody for an interview.
Yeah.
But so you try to build content around people, like I said, character development, so you get to know guys like we did the thing on Charlie. That thing kind of works its way around the room. And people will think, you know, it's a platform just all about Shador, all about Travis. But if you watch the platform, it's really not.
Yeah.
You know, we do more stories on guys that you don't know their names than we do the big name guys.
Amen.
Elfridi, who are the final
You're working that mouse
walk-ons?
over there, man. Like you're killing me.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm
I'm
on
just
top
glad
of
it was the
everything.
mouse. Like, I just saw movement over there.
Who are the final walk-ons joining the team? Do you know?
You said who are?
Walk-ons? Do you know of any new walk-ons that have joined the team?
I don't by name. I've seen some new faces, so like that's one of those things that'll continue to develop, you know, through July. I forget that we're in July now. But you will know this real team that first week of August.
Yep.
You know, there's still going to be some transitions, you know, in and out, you know, because when you get through strength and conditioning, there are a lot of folks who realize, man, this ain't for me, and maybe there's another opportunity, you know, somewhere else. So this is by no means the final roster. This is not. You're not just looking at, you know, the 100 guys that are going to Fort Worth.
Right.
You know, but I think you only travel about 60, 65.
Yeah, I thought the number was 65.
Yeah, so we'll start to zero in on that group, you know, more and more while telling you the stories of other folks. Because here's one thing, and I got to stress this to folks talking about the walk-ons or people that we do or do not interview. Coach Prime's programmed, and I'm basing this on my experience with him at Jackson State and seeing how he has built this roster here. Those scout team guys are so vitally important to the success of the team.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't just look for guys that, oh, well, he's a special teamer, or, oh, well, he's a third stringer. He looks for guys that will push the third team is pushing the second team is pushing the first team. Does this third string quarterback have true ability so he can clearly mimic the opponent's quarterback when we're doing our installs. So don't sleep on a guy just because you don't know his name or his number yet. Like, they have a vital role in our preparation.
I just have to say, I feel like I'm in heaven existing in a world where people care about the walk-on football players at the University of Colorado.
It's great.
Because
It's been a while.
I think I was one of like 6 people in the world who could name a walk-on football player at Colorado in the last 10 years.
Well, you're going to know him here for just the reason I said, man. Vitally important.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't play. If you think you're going to sit over there on third team or scout team and have a lackluster practice, like, you'll be done. And not just done for the day, you'll be off the team. Like, he wants people that's trying to get that spot, and it brings enough talent and ability to the table so that they can push those starters and give a good look. I mean, if make it Alabama and Georgia, those are the gold standards in college football for the past 10 years, give or take, and throw LSU in there. Their ones are going up against guys who are just as damn good as they are.
Yes.
Yes. That's why when you look at Georgia's defense, you got all those guys go to the draft, and then they're still looked to be the number one defense again because they built a team where the twos are just as capable of the ones. You're going to see that with this Coach Prime roster. I know you don't know those guys yet, but just watch.
Well, a perfect example of it would be Bishop Thomas, who's Scout Team Player of the Year at Florida State.
Yeah.
Now he's going to play for Colorado.
Yeah.
Amen.
Sean again. Hey, I'm just going to bring the artwork with me August 30th to deliver to you when I come back out for Braves Rockies before heading to TCU with the DNVR crew.
I appreciate that. I did not met this brother at the spring game, and he was doing an art piece for me that he was going to bring to the mega camp in Atlanta at Morehouse. And of course, Coach Prime had the health issue come up, so we didn't make the trip. But some of the coaches were going to bring it back, and whatever it is, they're like, man, Neely, I couldn't bring it. Like, it's
too big.
That's what she said. But it's you left the door up available. And so, I appreciate that, Sean. Let's do it, man.
Sean's our guy. Ray's asking, will the August roster be the season roster? Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. Again, you're going to have systematically some changes. As far as, who travels, who are the special teamers that week, who brings schematically whatever, the coordinators are trying to accomplish against that team. So you may have a 5 to 8 player change up here and there as far as who goes to this week or that week. But, when you get to August, man, like it's football time.
Yes, sir.
It's football time. So you just you get that 100 down into the 80s and then the 80s down into the 65 that travels, and there it is.
Yep. If we're going to answer this many questions, you got to get us to 500 likes.
Yep. They're working
almost there, man.
Yep.
23 away.
JSU for life. What's been the biggest surprise about former JSU players adjusting to life in Boulder?
I don't have a big surprise because I knew they were capable of it. I think that they have adjusted well to, the environment. I think one of the things that has helped, a lot of these guys are from the South, but so many of them came here that nobody got homesick because there's plenty of familiar faces.
Right.
And then they have truly meshed with the guys from the team that stayed on during the spring and those after with the staff, support staff. So I haven't been surprised, man. They have risen to the occasion. You look at what they've done in their bodies, their focus in the offseason. They've been working since day one. They've been humping it.
I loved what Cam said about the guys who, quote unquote, survived.
Yeah.
From
they earned that, man.
And he said, there's an inherent respect for those guys because they weren't Coach Prime's guys.
Yeah.
They were up against the 8 ball.
And they are
had
now.
And they had to prove it.
Yeah. And my God, did they have to prove it.
Yeah,
now, that doesn't mean that a Cam didn't have to prove it.
No.
But, he had a relationship and a track record with his ability.
And a trust that he had.
Yeah, you better believe Charlie Offerdahl earned that locker. Yeah. He may not be a scholarship guy, ... yet, but you better believe he had to prove he was capable of helping this team win ball games.
Or even a guy like Trevor Woods who has a valuable thing, which is a scholarship.
Yeah.
You got to really prove that you're worth that scholarship.
Because they are annual. A lot of folks, watch the news out there and the blogs and whatnot, and they look at roster turnover and they look at guys who are off teams that were on teams. A college scholarship, man, is just good for a year. Now, you can tell somebody, you can talk all the noise you want. Oh, I got a 4-year deal to such and so. You didn't get a 4-year deal to nowhere.
Yeah.
It is an annual deal.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you mess around, it'll be a semester deal.
Where can we get some merch?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they want to know.
You have merch? Can we get that hat?
Did you get, man? I got to put the clip up so I don't stint this hat, but we got merch coming. Thepregameshow.com website is up where you'll see articles, of interviews we did that were separate from YouTube videos. But it has a merch section coming that'll be here by August.
I was going to say, we can definitely help you in that world.
We want all the help we can get, man.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I just need Jake to keep his hands on that side of the cushion. He's getting a little handsy over here.
Hey, man, you've touched me more than I've touched you this show.
Now, that is true. 2-to-1 ratio, I'm counting.
I'm so glad I have my own chair over here.
Yeah, you do.
ALLCITY, they want to know about Coach Dennis Thurman, his impact on the defense, and will it be aggressive like it was at JSU?
Absolutely. You have a defensive staff like no other here of guys who have been there and done that. Charles Kelly, who is the defensive coordinator. Alabama didn't lose a game, right? And Florida State won the national championship. Before there was a playoff system, Alabama won it with the playoff system in undefeated fashion. Typically, if you win every game, you got a damn good defense.
Oh, yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. Dennis Thurman has done it at every level of the game, including the NFL. If you guys out there don't know Dennis Thurman, just Google Dennis Thurman hits Harold Carmichael. When Dennis Thurman was with the Cowboys and Harold Carmichael was with the Eagles, go watch that clip. But Dennis Thurman knows the ins and outs of defense. He's right there with Coach Kelly. Don't sleep on Vincent Dancy, who was the head coach at Mississippi Valley, who journeyed out here to be a defensive analyst. Coach Mathis, with the secondary. Coach Andre Hart with the linebackers. Dennis Thurman is with all those guys, touching all of those aspects and making sure it meets the standard of how the defense is going to roll out. And DT don't say much when he says something, he scares the hell out of you.
Connor's asking which two players are going to media days. Is this going to be Shedeur and Travis, you think?
I would guess. You got to take QB1. I haven't talked to Coach Brown about that. Pac-12 media days, y'all know, is July 21st.
I believe that's right.
In Vegas. I think it's Friday the 21st in Vegas. So I would wager that the starting quarterback would be going. Not sure who the other player would be, but Travis would be a good wager.
So I have a few things on this. One, we just found out that we're going. So Jake and I will be there.
Yeah, Neely will be there.
Neely will also be there.
Yeah.
The three of us in Vegas could be some shenanigans.
No, it's going to be shenanigans. It's just a matter of how far ahead of media day do we get there versus how long do we stay after.
Now, how about this? Do you remember Slam Ball?
Yeah.
Do you remember Slam Ball?
Oh, yeah.
Slam Ball is returning to our lives.
In Vegas?
And the first game of the season is on July 21st in Vegas.
Oh, man.
And I love Slam Ball.
How did you come to this information?
I got an email about it yesterday. I'm just on an email list.
I was wondering, you still sitting around Googling Slam Ball. Like, do you miss
I have a Google alert. Anytime Slam Ball.
It's coming back. I feel it.
It's coming back.
Sounds like a Cowboys fan.
Also,
dude, wait, hold on, wait. I'm going to let you finish about Slam Ball.
Okay.
He just slid in the Cowboys diss. Like, what you're not going to do is sit on your couch and diss the Cowboys.
That's dangerous with this chat, too.
We're not going to do that. This, as it is every year, this is our year.
There you go.
You go right ahead, Slam Ball.
You're them boys.
How did Broncos do last year?
Terrible.
Hey, man, let's not talk about that.
But they also haven't lost to the Cowboys, I believe, since 1995.
This is before I was born.
I mean, come on, man. Like, you pulling stats out. Who cares?
So we're gonna go see Slam Ball.
Yeah.
Return.
I'm
down. It's like
I'm still just blown away that you had that just useless
I think it's like
factoid.
$40 to go. But you can also get courtside for like $125.
No, I bet we can get courtside for less than that. I don't know if there's going to be that big of a demand for courtside.
I'm trying to be courts. It's also on ESPN. It's on the mothership.
That might help it. That might help it. Yeah, let's do it, man. Slam Ball.
Let's go. We're gonna be there.
The sport, not the
Shanti's
activity.
asking, Neely, have you seen the new uniforms and what do you think of them?
I have, and I have seen some helmet combinations. Got some stuff once again coming out maybe next week with Smitty. Some of it is going to be blurred out, the shoes.
Are you talking about you or the uniforms?
Both are going to be blurred out. Witness protection program. I give you a hint on the shoes. You know, Coach Prime, once upon a time, was with Nike. And Coach Prime is back with Nike.
Yeah.
And Coach Prime, once upon a time, had some shoes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Might not be too far-fetched for the team to have some shoes.
Oh, my God.
Very similar to the shoes that Coach Prime once had. I'm not saying that for a fact. I'm just saying it's going to be blurred out.
Ryan's already scheming how he can get a pair of his own.
Honestly, Coach Prime and Nike being back together is just a win for everyone.
It really is.
It is. But the uniform combinations, you know, that are out there, you know, Smitty, head of equipment, man, does a wonderful job. And, man, talk to Coach Prime daily and showing him, you know, different things. And one thing Coach loves to do, he literally lays stuff on the floor, even with the shoes to the side, and sees how it looks. So there's going to be some.
He doesn't have you tried on?
He wants it to look right, first of all. I look like a can of busted biscuits in a football uniform. So he is this guy laughing? Like, I mean, it's like this. And we don't want to see him shirtless either. You know, it's like, come on, man.
It's not great right now.
No, it's not. No.
Me
I don't think anybody up here is great. We like that guy with the
Yeah, there you go.
Barrel
Barrel
Man.
Man.
yeah, that's who we are. Duff Beer Man.
Colorado legend.
But when you look at the uniform combos that are coming with the helmet combos, I've said this before, man. Other than just because it's so damn live, I want to do it again. We could go the whole season and not wear the same thing twice.
Let's go, man.
We could easily. We could easily do that.
Kids are going to love it.
Shout out to Alpine for the $20 super chat.
Alpine, man. Alpine Garage Sports, man. They are all about CU content, supporting the coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Pre-game show, this platform. Those guys do a great job of resharing and retweeting and properly giving credit when they do.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
A lot of folks don't give
that.
credit when they do, man.
No.
I don't understand that. If I'm going to, like, share a video from someone else, like, I guess I think of it as, first of all, they deserve the credit.
Absolutely.
It doesn't hurt me in any way to give them the credit. And third of all, they're probably going to see that eventually, and they're going to feel a certain way about you if you didn't credit them.
Absolutely.
It's weird.
Yeah, I would love to add to that, but you nailed it. Hey, can I pick one? Because Mac Mills said something.
Yeah,
that,
sure.
Hey, man, I wish I knew the answer.
Throw it up.
Other than you could take a guy to Fort Myers, but you can't take Fort Myers out the guy. I do not know why Deion Sanders wears his sweatpants tucked into his socks, but I do know this. He is the only man on God's green earth that can actually make it look cool.
Yes.
Damn right.
Yes.
He
Damn
makes
right.
it look so cool that when you try to do it, you look in the mirror and say, I cannot do this.
Well, he's doing it with like cowboy boots on, a cowboy hat too, and the gold whistles hanging down.
Man, he's his own guy. He has a beat in his head that we can't hear, and he marches to that tune. But those jogging pants are going to be tucked in those socks, and somehow it's like, damn, I want to pull that off.
Also, it has a double use because when you're riding a bike around everywhere like he likes to do,
Right.
then your pant leg doesn't get caught in the spokes.
This guy's brilliant, man. This guy's brilliant.
All right, just a few more. Area 22. Does Neely know if Prime still wants his lawn cut, or is he having fun with the new toy? I'm
He's having fun with the new toy.
The new mower he got?
The surgery bumped into the time he really would have been on it, but I don't know if you guys saw the video. People out there saw it, but I mean, you talk about a kid on Christmas morning. Like, he was so excited about that zero-turn lawnmower.
He was.
And like, I think the video say 10 minutes long. It could have been 40 minutes long. Like, he rolled around till we had to turn the headlights on.
Well, dude, 8 of that 10-minute video is him just driving around, just figuring it out.
And loving it.
Yeah.
And loving it. So
It was like
no,
when
I think his lawn man days are over. He is typically a guy who likes to cut his grass on Sundays, which will be a day that we're coming back from the road or after a home game. So he puts those headphones on, and that's his therapy and game planning. So he's gonna be on that mower, zero turning.
If you want to mow your lawn on Sunday, hit up our friends over at Manscaped.
There you go.
Not touching it. Not gonna do it.
Bake Ziti, Neely, can you talk about how your life has changed with Coach now being at Colorado?
In regarding with him, it hadn't changed much at all, man. Like we're still doing the same things, same conversations that we were the past 3 football seasons at Jackson State. We talk regularly, talk often, and it's a relationship built on trust and proximity. So I'm blessed that he's allowed me, into the program at that level to bring information, to the masses. But it's been phenomenal. Hey, we're 562, by the way.
Let's go. We
so
could get
that's
600.
rolling. We could get 600.
Yep.
So it's been a phenomenal, growth, professionally for me. Betting on myself, something that like he personifies, that you learn from him, to come out here and be like, you know what, I'm gonna give this full-time content thing a try, man. Then hooking up with you guys, which he often, just like he did at Jack State that I was unaware of. I didn't know he was watching the show because I was doing the show before he blessed the show, and he has mentioned to me, hey man, I saw like I said earlier, I saw the segment with you guys and Cam, so he knows who's putting quality stuff out there and he supports it.
It's just like you said, when he's on the field, he sees everything.
Oh my, he doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how he sees it, but he sees it.
DCB is asking if we can get Neely and McChesney together on air.
Whew.
That would be. Do you know who that is?
I do. I've actually, exchanged some DMs. I think that's coming.
Oh hell yeah!
That dude is one of a kind.
Yeah,
One of a kind.
We need to have him back.
But he does love Colorado football.
He does.
Like
He's
very
passionate,
few
man.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been able to line it up and make the time, happen. But I think it's something that's coming, man. We're gonna spread the love.
Well, if you need some common ground, right here.
Yes,
I love
sir.
this place. And Jake walked me down to 7-Eleven,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Neely
Through the
for
alleyway.
No, I'm not following Jake down the alley. The first time here, he parked in the alley, and I walked a little bit behind him, like, I don't know this dude, man.
I did have to make sure I was arm's length away from Neely, though. I'll say that.
I just had to make sure he didn't put nothing in his pockets. Like, hey, man, we're paying for this, right? And he was like, no, you're paying for it.
It's a 7-Eleven.
Wait. Did I pay for it?
You did pay for it. You offered.
No.
You didn't.
No, you deboed me.
Oh, man.
You put your stuff on the counter by my chips and walked off.
And he's like, my
Whoa.
phone is ringing.
No, he didn't even offer an excuse. He just looked at it like, he got it.
Wow.
I said,
I
man,
don't
guess
believe
do.
that.
No, that's not the way it happened.
We've been in the banger business lately because this was another one, man.
Wait.
We've been killing it.
Wait.
I agree. I agree.
Am I wrong?
I agree.
This was another fire show. We've had a full.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
I mean,
we have been.
Hey,
in the,
my mind's not in the gutter. I'm
We-
here to.
we
I'm
have
here to
been
work
in the-
some-
People have been calling us bang bros.
That's not what I said.
No, we're not hashtagging that. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do that one.
Oh my
guys are
god.
killing
It's like your condiment draft.
I just need a gif of Neely's face the way he looked at me when you said that. It was perfect.
But
We've been banging it.
we're at $5.99. Let's get
601.
one more.
Hey, there we go.
602.
There we go. We can go get lunch now.
Shout
I
out
would
to you
not be against
guys.
Someone brought in food like halfway through the show and it just like wafted through here.
Yeah.
Been starving ever
Oh,
since.
excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't food. It was digested food.
Shout out to you,
The
Neely.
banger business is booming.
Yep. Thanks for coming down again, man.
Man, anytime, every time. And again, I will take it upon myself and team effort to remind people you're going to see more of this when the season comes.
Yes, sir.
Like, this is going to be a weekly deal, man. We haven't figured out the how, when, and why, what day of the week, post-game or pre-game, but, details don't matter when it comes to three of us. This is going to be a thing.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
We're about to go iron out some details right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be banging all season long.
All right, just end this before we get ourselves in more
Skull
trouble.
Buffs?
Skull Buffs.
Go Buffs.